We are here at the Vallelunga circuit in Italy. We're checking out the new Porsche content coming out for Assetto Corsa, special content. And now we're checking out the Porsche side of things with you, Sebastian. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, welcome.
How did this special collaboration start?
Oh, it started, I would say, 3 years ago when I met Marco the first time at the Frankfurt Motor Show, and we discussed about a potential partnership. And we were on a search for a partner to develop a special virtual driving experience for the Porsche community and also Porsche customers and the contact points we have. So that came to life last year, when we introduced to our dealers a new 911, the 991 second generation in Lisbon and Estoril on the racetrack, and that was for us the starting point to work on the content. So the first car that was realized was more than 1 year ago, and with that starting point we developed not only the DLC content you can now see and enjoy on PC, Xbox and PlayStation, but also about special content we are using. So to integrate the Panamera, the Cayenne and the Macan was of course on our wish list, because we believe that we have the most sportive cars in every segment, also in the sedan and the SUV segment, and that is a good proof to show that also in the virtual world. And we use Assetto Corsa now for our Porsche racing simulators we have installed all over the world, and especially in our Porsche Experience Centers, where we use them to gather track knowledge. So Assetto Corsa already integrated the Porsche Experience Center LA track for us, so that we can use it for our purposes and show the performance of the cars first in a virtual world, and then go out on the track and have the real one.
So we are not just talking about Assetto Corsa as the product, the commercial product, but also your own simulators you're working together with Kunos.
Exactly. So we work with them on these, I would say, 3 dimensions. One is to provide our fans, our community, authentic and realistic driving experience with motion and VR options, and the second one is that we use it internally for our purposes, like the racing simulators and different activities, and also in terms of development we share some experiences with Assetto Corsa Pro version, the graphics and the physics engine.
Mm-hmm. And Marco mentioned during the conference that you shared with them more than data. What does that mean? What do they need in order to reproduce this?
Yes, they need a lot of different data. It's not only the CAD files we share with them. It's also about the physics of the car. So it is a high sensitive thing we share with them, and of course we discuss a lot internally which kind of data we can provide to a racing game, and which are more sensitive so that we can't share. But we have a very high interest to realize a car in a virtual environment similar to the real car handling. So in that terms, I would say we found a good compromise to provide them with enough data so that they can develop the cars in a virtual way as best as possible.
Mm-hmm. It is amazing the selection you brought here. Can you tell us, our viewers, about the really, really special Porsche cars we can take a look at and try out here?
Yeah, I believe it's a good mixture of a broad variety of cars. So Porsche has a lot of a long history and a great heritage in cars, not only in race cars and sports cars. So we have some really iconic cars integrated, starting with the 919 Hybrid, so the Le Mans winner of 2015 and also 2016. That is, in the real world only drivable for a handful of people. So here is the the benefit that everyone can now drive the 919 hybrid at home or wherever you have a console or a PC available. Then we have also such super sports cars like the 918 Spyder. That is the super hybrid sports car with more than 880 horsepower. This version,
right, yeah.
yes.
It's a bit more about it because it's kind of too crazy.
It is totally crazy, and it's the Nürburgring Nordschleife record car. So it was the first car with I would say the street setup that was able to gain a lap time below 7 minutes. So it has a combustion engine, V8 combustion engine with around 600 horsepower, and then two electric hybrid engines with additional 200 horsepower, so top speed of more than 340 kilometers per hour. And yeah, it's our super sports car, and now everybody is able to drive that car.
And also some iconic classics as the one you have right there. So every single car you're mentioning, can we try that out on Assetto Corsa?
Yes, it's a huge variety of cars, historical ones like the 962C, also a Le Mans winner car, then also the 718 RS60 Spyder, and yeah, so it's a good mixture of historical ones where you can really feel the authentic power without the electronic add-ons you have nowadays, and it's of course much more difficult to drive them in a proper speed around the racetrack, and yeah, it makes a lot of fun to go through the history of Porsche with all these cars and feel the differences in every single way, and especially to realize these historical cars. Kunos did a huge effort to picture these cars because there are no CAD files available from the historical ones, so they did a lot of, 100,000 pictures for every detail with blueprints. We provided them. We have in our historical archive huge material. Also our development team researched a lot over some days to search the race protocols for the different setups we had during the Le Mans races. So that was a huge effort on Kunos' side as well as on our historical and development side to provide the most realistic data.
And vice versa, because I've heard that you have some people from your team testing out every single version of Assetto Corsa to check out that it really works like the real Porsche experience, right?
Yes, we received the cars for testing. Of course, I'm not the person who can really give feedback if an historical car is driving in a proper way. That makes it a big challenge on our side, and we try our best to give the best detailed feedback that's possible. And we use for current cars, we use our instructors and works drivers to make sure that some of these data are as possible, as best as I can. And with the historical cars, it's even more difficult.
Closing one, you mentioned during the presentation the eSports aspect of things. Porsche seems really interested in eSports. How are you handling this? What is your roadmap for the upcoming years, besides Assetto Corsa, of course?
Yes, that's a good question. So we noticed that esports is over the couple of years have grown from only shooter, strategy and roleplay games now also in motorsport. There is a long history in online racing, but nowadays it becomes more popular to really celebrate in a broader audience also the virtual race sports. And we are right now working on our roadmap, so Assetto Corsa will be one important pillar to do that. But of course there are other publishers and other platforms we also work together with to provide our community on every possible way.
Perhaps a Porsche team?
Might be possible. So we are right now considering and discussing internally how we can really do our best to have a good racing platform.
Thank you very much for your time, Sebastian.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.